Hello and welcome to game number 8 of the 2025 Roller Derby World Cup here, hosted by Fearless Bruisers in Innsbruck, Austria, on the Joker Floors track. That's track number 3 in-house between Team Fuego Latino and Team Wales.
Baradara chroeso I Cwpan y Byd Roller Derby 2025 in Innsbruck, Austria. Dyma'r cartref y Fearless Bruisers Roller Derby. Dwi'n Liam Needham a dyma Jumping Spider y dyn ni'n yma ar track Joker Floors i'r gêm 8 ar ddwynod 1. Mae'r gêm yma yn Cymru yn y croesiau coch yn erbyn FUEGO Latino yn y croesio gwyn. Mae'r gêm yma yn sylweddau dwyieith mewn arddangos yr iaith Cymraeg i'r byd.
I am Jumping Spider here with Liam Needham, and we will be giving you this game, our second game of the day here on the Joker Floors track, between Team Fuego Latino at their first World Cup and Team Wales, who is at their third.
Yeah. So you might have noticed me butchering the Welsh language there. This will be a bilingual game in a manner of speaking. Every fifth jam will be in a very bad version of Welsh. So Welsh speakers at home, I apologise for butchering our language. So
let's give you our rosters for our teams. First, from Team Fuego Latino, number 027 is Karma Electrek, number 03 Olivia Shootin' John, number 1031 Whiskey Von Sweets, number 12 Mistake, number 121 Flux, number 237 Blue Jay. The captain is number 27 Peace War, number 29 Darko, 30 Miss Defiant, 511 Machu Picchu, 55 Hoss, the boss, 594 No Mames, 65 Diosa Azteca, 80 is Zelda, and 809 is Dominican Dynamite.
And Team Dechrau I Cymru, starting team for Wales is 101 Macbeth, Helen Drew, Badger, Dos Santos, Charismatic, Jones, Catastrophe, Plant, who has the star on her head right now, Thrill House, Boba, Divine Wrath, Roxy Toxen, Pip Grey, and Hazard. So first up, jamming for Wales, we have Plant, and they're up against Karma Electrek, who Karma Electrek, I believe, just took a very quick lead for Fuego Latino. So Plant knocked off track there, but is back on because the blocker knocking him off was knocked off track, so they're straight back into play and picking up points for Wales. Oh no, it is lead to Wales. Sorry, I thought Karma Electrek was lead. They must have taken a run-up.
Yeah, it just got recycled into the pack, and I think there was the sign for, here is the pack.
Oh, so first lead of the day goes to Wales. First points of the day go to Wales. Quite a full-looking penalty box. Both pivots in the box there, and an additional one for Fuego Latino. Plant now engaging the wall, and a second scoring pass, putting a point on the board for Wales. And Karma Electrek out of the pack for Fuego as a second Welsh blocker heads to the penalty box. So half of Wales available blockers off the track. So Plant calls the jam there. So I believe that's 3 additional points. So it's 11 points to 0 for Wales, but they will start with 2 blockers in the box there, and there is 1 Fuego blocker in the box, so slight pack advantage to Wales.
Once again, we are here on the Joker Floors track, and that is the Sisu Mouthguards penalty box. It's now the jammer coming out for Fuego Latino, number 121 Flux, jamming against number 704 Hazard. Our teams here, Fuego Latino with the white jerseys, purple gradient, purple trim, and the purple stripes for the pivot. Wales, as you can see here, as they get their second lead in a row, red jerseys with the, might be a little hard to see on the stream, but I want to give it to you because I love it. That's a dragon on the jersey in the shaded in. It's been a few years since we started to see those jerseys as we're into the jam now. Flux trying to find some space in the back. Hazard knocked down momentarily, but that blocker will head to the Sisu Mouthguards penalty box.
So I can't tell whether that was a forearms or a direction penalty against Blue Jay there, but it's a penalty nonetheless.
Interesting one here as we have Fuego Latino, due to the games that they played in the pre-World Cup run-up, has been ranked in the first quartile, so Wales in the second quartile for this game. But so far in the early going, Liam, they've got the lion's share of the points. 8 points here so far for Hazard. A nice bounce off of a hit there from number 30, Miss Defiant. or 80 Zelda, who got that hit on Hazard, bounced off towards the inside and picked up another 4 points.
It takes a stumble there, but that's still another 4 points. So it's that 16-point jam to Wales now. Like, really taking the game to Fuego in the opening couple of jams.
That's so important with the conditions here. It's hot down here. Even in our hockey arena that we have on tracks 3 and 4, the heat is still coming in, and it's a bit humid as well. And so I think that the teams that get the best start early on have the advantage as you start to lose those energy reserves. A nice jam for Wales, finishing off with another 3 points on the final scoring pass. 19 in total, so 2 double-digit jams for Wales out of the blocks. They lead Team Fuego Latino by 30 here in the early going.
Yeah. So, mae'r Roxy Toxin gyda Seren I Cymru. Mae'r dechrau Power Jam I Cymru. So Wales with a Power Jam, Roxy Toxin yn rhedeg yn... I've lost my cheat sheet. I've got my cheat sheet here. Roxy Toxin yn taro o wal Ciro I lawan. Charismatic yn ceisio i'r ymysodiad I Cymru. Roxy Toxin gweithio i'r wal yn ymlaen y pac. Mae'r sgoriwr i'r Fuego Latino yn dod I mynd y trac. A Roxy Toxin yn y prif sgoriwr I Cymru. Tair yn y row i'r Cymru. So, mae'r Seren yn y lawr llaw. We pass start Seren, a nawr sgwriol newydd I Fuego Latino is Piswar. So, 4 pwynt I Cymru yn y jam, a 24 yn y game. And the team is Fuego Latino. So 3 jams down, Fuego Latino yet to get lead or a single point so far. So
see if they can change that here in jam number 3. House the Boss, number 55, jamming for Fuego Latino against number 1917, Catastrophe. 1 blocker each in the Sisu Mouthguards penalty box for either team. Catastrophe stuck now at the back. Peace War going to see a lot of action. The veteran pivot from Texas Roller Derby. House the Boss was forced down momentarily. 1-9-1 for Wales did drop back. Jones trying to get that cut track penalty, but it is the first lead for Fuego Latino and House the Boss. Haas giving Catastrophe a force to the outside, helping the blockers out, and now going in to score points. Jones at the top with Dos Santos, holding things down very well. A nice 2-wall, giving enough time for the star pass. And that is a great move coming around the outside.
That's charismatic now with the star for Wales.
Hopping around the outside. And you know what? I like that. If you don't get the star on and the jam gets called, wave it around like a lasso. Get the crowd going.
Absolutely. You've got to be a show person in this sport.
It is entertainment. 4 points for Fuego Latino, getting on the scoreboard. They trail Wales by 30. Just under 24 minutes to play in our first period.
So we have Plant with the star for Wales, and currently sat in the box is Dos Santos. So slight pack advantage for Fuego Latino, sat in the Sisu Mouthguards penalty box. So Plant jamming for the second time today, and they're up against Mistake. Have Mistake jammed yet today, do we know?
No, that is the first jam for Mistake.
So Wales recycling jammers for the first time, and Plant does take lead for the second time for Wales.
That was a huge hit by Divine Roth, coming from the back of the pack, sliding up the inside line, and shooting through like a missile to take out the Fuego Latino jammer, enabling that lead for Wales.
And now we have a star pass, and that is Whiskey Von Sweets with a star for Fuego Latino. It's charismatic, I believe. Oh, no, it's not charismatic. Sorry, it is Macduff in the Sisu Mouthguards penalty box for Wales. So they will start short-handed in that jam. So that was a 0-0 jam there. 3 points have been assessed to Wales, so that extends their lead to 37-4.
As we said, Wales in their third roller derby World Cup, finished in the group stages in 2014, as now we'll have an official timeout. Our first stop and play of the game, 22-12 on the clock, Wales leading 37-4. Wales in 2014, Liam finishing in the group stages. In 2018, improved their position very much so, getting into the round of 16 and finishing in 11th place. That was a really, really competitive World Cup in Manchester. And so this time around, trying to improve that even more. And I think as we see, it may be early on, it's early on, as you say, but just judging by Wales' preparations and their cohesiveness as we started this game, that second quartile might have been a misnomer.
Yes, well, at the last World Cup, Wales picked up 2 wins and 3 defeats. So 2 wins, both against Scotland, actually. And the 3 defeats, no shame. USA, France, and Canada, 3 of the best teams in the world. So can't really argue with those. But say they have played Scotland twice in the warm-up to the World Cup, losing in Edinburgh, but then getting their revenge in London later on. But well, looks like we're good to go again. So it's Hazard with the start for Wales.
Looking to see as both jammers are starting right on top of each other. And that is 0-2-7 with the star.
So that's Calm Electric.
Calm Electric, who led off our game.
It's a lovely toe-stop work down the inside line there by Hazard to stay in, bounce both jammers out, but Hazard is the lead, so probably a quick points and call-off.
That was interesting there. Both teams were waiting for their jammer to come up close to try and speed things up. And I would like to see one team just kind of take the lead, whether they're going to like step up to the top and slow the pack down or immediately get on the move. We saw that on the last game on this track from Finland. They dictated the pace, especially in that second half. And so that jam ends up with our first, Wales picking up 1 point in that jam.
There was just one straggler at the back of the pack. I wasn't sure if Calm Electric had managed to pick up a point themselves, but nothing was assessed. Wales down to 2 blockers as Angie heads to the box. McDeff still currently in the penalty box. I think they might be serving 2 penalties. They started the last jam in the box. There's Roxy Toxin with the star for Wales, but lead has been assessed to Hoss the Boss for Fuego Latino, their second lead of the game now.
Only lead jammer so far for Fuego Latino. Hoss the Boss perpetually in motion, as you see. They maneuver around that last block as the blocker was forced out of play. So 4 points once again for Fuego Latino. And a star pass coming through now to 101 Macbeth for Wales. Hoss the Boss comes through on another scoring pass, gets 4 points, calls it off. So far it's Wales 38, Hoss the Boss 12. 20-27 on the Joker Floors track. Fuego Latino looking to find some scoring from their other jammers, but still within the first 10 minutes of the game, Liam. They've got time to get things going.
So I've noticed it's been quite a penalty-heavy game so far, so there's not been many times where both teams have had their full complement of blockers on the track. So that, has been playing in Wales' favour so far, but as the game goes on, people get hotter, and decision-making is not as strong as it is.
Exactly.
But Catastrophe taking lead jammer there for Wales down there the inside line. Calm Electric, just 1 blocker. It's just Dos Santos holding the back. But Dos Santos is an out-of-play penalty, is that? So, and Jones is currently sat in the Sisu mouthguard penalty box as well for Wales. So Wales just 2 blockers to start this jam. They pick up 3 points there with no reply. So extending the lead 41-12.
We'll see how long it can work. Right now, Wales is dictating the pace of the game. Nice cheer from the crowd as Charismatic was on, went off, but made sure to keep things going from the crowd end. And that'll give some energy back to the skaters as the game goes on. But like you said, Liam, the fatigue was going to start to hit at some point with the humidity and the temperature in here. Plant jamming in this jam for Wales. Number 12, Mistake, jamming for Fuego Latino. Mistake had some room at the front, and they lead jammer for Fuego Latino, the first one other than number 55 to get lead. So Fuego Latino getting themselves into the game now. Glitterous in the mirror spot for Fuego Latino, telling Mistake to keep things going. Our spin move around the back against Pip Gray, but that's a cut track penalty on Mistake, so it'll be a power jam opportunity and a star pass to Jones for Team Wales.
This is Jones' second World Cup. They made their Welsh debut last year and got to play against USA of all teams. So I have a soft spot for Jones because we come from the same league, North Wales. We were both at North Wales at one point. She's now at Rainy City, but when I first joined the league, she was there. So definitely got a soft spot for Meg.
What type of player is she like? As we see Jones coming out here now, trying to get some help from the blocking court. Dos Santos weaves through, but Fuego Latino doing nicely to space themselves out, come back together. How do you see this tournament playing out for Jones?
Well, she's a very intelligent blocker and very physical, can switch between, generally tends to pivot rather than jam, but is a very capable jammer. And as a last line of defense, she's knows where to be at the right place at the right time. Just when you think you passed her, she rematerializes in front of you. And despite the fact she's 5 foot tall and I'm 6 foot tall, I would always smash my nose into her shoulder. I have no idea how.
That sounds like she's hitting you in the midsection and folding you over.
Oh no, all perfectly legal as well.
Mistake out of the Sisu Mouthguards penalty box, had to grind it out against the last two blockers for Wales, but does do so and gets 4 points. Fuego Latino on the board in this jam. So far, Jones still inside the pack, has picked up points, but has been recycled very well by Fuego Latino. Only 2 seconds now, now the jam concludes. Our first 2-minute jam of the game, and it goes to Wales. 4 points to them, Fuego Latino getting 3. And they are steadily climbing the charts, but Wales still holds a lead right now of 26. Going into jam number 10.
So gyda Seren I Cymru yn eto yn hazard a host up the boss I Fuego Latino. 100% prif sgorio record I host y boss, and mae'n dechrau mae'n parhau. And host y boss yn taro I y pefyd Cymru, Angie, Captain Cymru. Ac nawr y wal Cymru yn dal y sgoriwr yn tipyn bach o ymysodwr I mystiffiant. Ac mae'r jammer Cymru yn erbyn yn dal yn y wal. Ond hos y boss yn erbyn plant. Mae'r plant yn mynd I bocs Sisu Mouthguards i'r cosp allan chwarae taro. So 4 pwynt ar y bord I Fuego. And Hosabos, 8 pwynt mae'n ddrog gen I Fuego. A Hosabos nawr yn y 4 pas sgorio. 12 pemso. Mae'r star yn newid, Seren yn newid, and Angie nawr newid sgorio'r I Cymru. I'm very sorry for anyone in Welsh listening to this. This is bloody awful, but mae'r Angie yn curo I tu allan gan Diosa Azteca. A mae'r jam yn y bed, yn y ben. 16 pwynt I Fuego Latino, nawr yn game 10 pwynt. 35-45, a 10-point game now, 16-point jam. Huge jam for Fuego Latino there. And Wales bench calling for a timeout there. So that's a big jam there for Fuego Latino.
Definitely. I mean, it felt like all Wales here in the early going, but just the one big shot from House the Boss, 16 points, and now they're back within 2 passes, 3 passes, pretty much. And Fuego Latino, who had really gotten a good sniff in the game, is only a couple of passes down. I know that was reiterating the same thing, but it's okay. I want to drive home the point that even with the penalties that we'd seen, Wales had definitively had control, and Haas the Boss had been the only jammer that they had not had success against until Karma Electric with that, or mistake with that last jam where she picked up 8 points. But Haas the Boss doing the job and keeping Fuego Latino within shouting distance.
Yeah, Haas the Boss with 100% lead jammer record for Fuego Latino. So we got Flux up against Plant for Fuego and Wales, respectively.
Saw a last-second switch there. Roxy Toxin was out on the track, then switched spots with Plant. Plant led off the game for Wales and got them on the board first. So we'll see if Plant can keep that run going for Wales. You see Divine Roth in there, who had that really, really, really good hit and a couple of jams ago to give Wales lead. Flux trying to split the triangle for Wales. One blocker going up for help. That's number 101 Macbeth going to play some offense. The pack does move up, so Wales having to release. Very adroit play by Flux. Staying on the blockers, but trying to dip down and spin around them. But Wales maintains their shape well. No leads yet. Pack congealing into turn number 1, now coming a bit closer. Plant goes chest to chest with a blocker for Fuego Latino momentarily, now digging back down with the shoulder.
So Zelda currently sat in the box for Fuego Latino, so they don't have anyone to dedicate to offense, and Macbeth was trying to help the jammer out there, but still trying to cause a nuisance in that Fuego Latino free wall. But yeah, over a minute gone in this jam, and no lead jammer in this heat. In this heat, in this economy.
Olivia Shootin' John along with Whiskey Von Sweets and Blue Jay. The triangle of blockers at the top for Fuego Latino. Some momentary offense there once again. Now the offense going to come back in. Macbeth going to try and execute a sweep. Fuego Latino going to send all 4 blockers into defense now. As we are 30 seconds to go here in our jam, and we have just now reached the 3rd turn. Plant with a chance here, but Fuego Latino holding strong. No pack was called momentarily, and Plant goes down around a block from Olivia Whiskey Von Sweets. Back block penalty called, so Von Sweets will head to the Sisu Mouthguards penalty box. 10 seconds to go as we are now back at the WFTDI jam line. Plant still gamely trying to find space to get out front, but I believe we will conclude with no leads. 2-minute jam. Nobody got that finger in the air from the middle. And excellent defense on both sides from Wales and Fuego Latino.
A double duck of denial. First time I've ever seen it, I think. Anyway, first time since I've been paying attention anyway.
If you're going to expect to see it, it would definitely be at the World Cup when you see the best on display here.
Absolutely.
We had a jam where it was the first time, I believe, jam number 4, where both teams scored. Because otherwise, as our erstwhile producer, Iron Lung, let us know, early on, the team that had gotten lead had held the other team scoreless.
Oh, wow.
Catastrophe going to jam here for Wales. And number 2027, Karma Electric, who led things off for Fuego Latino, jamming for them.
So Catastrophe just knocked off track there and recycled by Peace War. So both jammers starting where the last jam ended off, stuck in the wall, but trying to push these free walls around the track and out of play. So Karma Electric, the foremost of the jammers, and getting a little bit of assistance there from Whiskey Von Sweets out of the penalty box, and they are out and have lead. So Jones once again, the pivot for Wales, will be looking for that star pass, but Catastrophe further forward than they are, but 4 points on the board there for Karma Electric, and Fuego taking us down to a 6-point game. Oh, and a lovely bit of work there from Angie to knock Karma Electric off track and recycle them the full 10 feet. And looks like we have had a star pass, so Meg Jones with the star for Wales, but still cemented within that. But I like how word you used earlier, congealed. I'm going to put that into my commentary a lot more going forward.
I like cemented too.
Cemented, yeah. So all the bodies hitting the floor there, but Meg Jones knocked to the inside and sent to the back of the Packers. Everyone is slowly recycling the Fuego Latino jammer, Karma Electric on the outside as well as the clock ticks down to beyond 20 seconds. Oh, Karma Electric, sorry, my mistake, not Karma Electric. So Jones trying to elongate the pack there. And that is called with 3 seconds remaining as a further 3 points. So 7 points for Jam. And it's now a 3-point game, 42-45. Wales have not scored in about 3 jams now, I believe.
And look who's on the line for Fuego Latino, number 55, Hoss the Boss. This could be our first. We won't say it quite yet, but you at home know what we're talking about. Roxy Toxin going to try and keep Wales in the lead here.
Roxy Toxin positioning himself behind Hoss the Boss. And and Roxy's foot just slid out. I thought she'd got out on the inside line there. But both jammers been knocked off track and recycled. Roxy Toxin now at the front of the pack with Macbeth trying to help them out.
This is the best we've seen the Welsh line hold against Hoss the Boss. Nice triangle formed in the back of the pack here as we see them going into turn number 1. That was a real saver by Dominican Dynamite because Roxy Toxin had lead open, and now Dominican Dynamite along with Olivia Shootin' going to force the recycle again. 0-3 the pivot, Olivia Shootin' going to go up to the top of the pack, catching Roxy Toxin once again. Only 2 blockers to beat. A nice swing move to the outside, but here comes Hoss the Boss into the open lane, and that's lead jammer once again, Fuego Latino.
And Roxy Toxin is out as well. He stashed for star. It looked like they passed it to Charismatic there, but lovely work from Hoss the Boss to slide and spin around and call the jam. And now we have had our first lead change of the game. 46-45, 8 minutes left in the first half.
That was good defense both ways. You saw a number of individual plays to keep each team from getting lead, and then Wales holding Hoss the Boss for a very long time, considering they'd had a couple of double-digit jams, only getting 4 on that exchange, and Roxy Toxin, good work to get out of the pack and force the call off. Hazard now jamming for Wales against Mistake. For Fuego Latino, Wales on the low end of the score column, now trying to get back to the high side. But Hazard recycled. Great offense from Thrill House to free up Hazard, who just skates through the pack, open lane. The pack really spread out. Hazard with the finger to the bench, letting him know, yeah, I got your back here. And it's going to be a scoring pass for Hazard. Fuego Latino passes the star to Olivia Shootin'. Hazard does get through the pack, checking with the officials, and gets 4 points. So right back our second lead change as Wales retakes the score, the top of the score sheet. They are 49, Team Fuego Latino 46.
I think that's the first time we've seen Wales pick up points in over 4 jams there, so much needed. Perfect timing there from Hazard. As Plant now with a star for Wales up against Karma Electric. I'll get it right this time. So Plant looking up the inside line and skips to the middle. Karma Electric trying to follow where Plant originally was, but no daylight for either jammer.
That was great by Wales as Divine Roth forced the recycle, and the blockers were already at the back of the pack to set up that triangle.
One less blocker on track for Plant to try and get past. As Charismatic sending Karma Electric to the back of the pack. Plant with just one jammer between Emily, and they take lead for Wales. 2 in a row. 2 Fuego blockers in the box, joined by Divine Roth for Wales, and a star pass. And it is Peace War now with the star. I believe that's the second time they've taken the star today. Eligible to pick up points, and are picking up points in Wales running this jam here. Just trying to get Divine Roth out of the box. 4 points put up there by Fuego. Plant trying to push their way through, push and spin. And that jam has been called, but has Peace War put some more points on board. No points on that pass, but 4 points on the jam for Fuego. So that's a 4 jam, so Wales maintain their 3-point lead. 5 minutes left in the first half. Oh, it's up but jamming for the first time today for Wales. It's Badger of Wiltshire, and also Bristol roller derby in MRDA. Another person I have a soft spot for from her days at Cheshire Hellcats, where I used to help out training them. So, and we're also both from Swansea in South Wales as well. So,
going to have our first official review of today's game. S1, of course, is the official protective gear of the Roller Derby World Cup. Durable, functional, and stable, the S1 Pro knee pads are built for roller derby. S1 helmets and pads protecting roller derby since 2006. Go to s1helmets.com.
So, of course, we also have the Sisu mouthguards, who are kindly sponsor our penalty box. Smash hard, skate harder. Sisu mouthguards has your back and your teeth. Sisu is the official mouthguard of the Roller Derby World Cup. So I love Sisu mouthguards, because someone sold it to me on the grounds that you can drink a cup of tea in it, and I was sold.
That's good, actually. Yeah.
You can also eat a biscuit, but it feels really weird.
I would imagine so. Yeah.
So we're just awaiting the outcome of this official review.
Well, 56-50, Wales leading Team Fuego Latino with 5:06 remaining here in our first period of play. And it's been a tale of two halves of the first half. Wales getting the early margin and Fuego Latino pulling things back on with the strength of Haas the Boss.
Yeah. Wales raced into a 24-point lead within a couple of jams, and but since then it's been mostly Fuego, but it's been also a very low-scoring, brilliant defensive game so far. We had that jam with no initial pass as well. So.
That was amazing, wasn't it? Yeah, it feels like the defense has really picked up. Not starting with that jam, but the way that Wales was scoring, they were scoring consistently. Fuego Latino having trouble getting on the board. Now it feels like both teams have started to lean on their defenses and not just having their jammers make those nice individual plays. To be fair, our offensive blockers have been very, very active so far, but it was the jammers, I think, who were the stars of the show. Now the defenses are really making themselves heard. So we'll have the results of our official review here momentarily from our producer, Iron Lung.
So I see that actually Hazard has now taken Badger's place on the jam line, so we have to wait a little longer for our first Badger action of the day.
So our official review, Wales requested a back block on the white jammer of the last jam. Let me just check here. Well, Peace War had taken the star, so that should have been on Peace War. And there was a moment where Peace War, after getting that star pass, shot up the inside line, and Peace War is one of those pivots that tries to get the big first hit. So Wales was requesting a back block on Peace War. There was a no call in the moment. The no call stands. So Wales does not retain their official review for the first half.
So yeah, even-handed jammers, so the officials are still discussing something else at this point in time. So we got some nice shots of the crowd there. Everyone fanning themselves because it is blooming hot here.
I said the fans are well represented here, and both the supporters in the stands and whatever they can find to cool themselves down.
So, yes, it is a bit warm down here, isn't it? I believe it's 31 degrees outside, so who knows what it is in here. So, got to keep hydrated. So.
Honestly, make sure, no matter where you are, because it's pretty much been a heat wave everywhere. This game is presented by water. Cool, clear, will keep you alive. Water, the best thing on earth.
Better than Gatorade.
Definitely better than Gatorade, and I love Gatorade. So we'll see if I believe we had some more information.
So, right now, Red wanted backlock on white 2-7 Peace War for backlock that was perceived over the Super 3. But the eyeballs on it was that red blocker so there's no backlock.
Thank you.
You can probably hear the Belgium anthem playing in the background at the moment.
That was an excellent, detailed explanation by our alternate official, Illinois, coming over and explaining that penalty as you heard. So again, Wales will not retain their official review. And a very important call by the officials, seeing that the blocker turned into the space rather than having established themselves and then getting hit in the back. So we come back to action here. Wales leading Fuego Latino by 6, and a power jam opportunity now for Fuego Latino. And once again, it's Haas the Boss coming off the WFTDI panel jam line and getting lead out of turn number 2. Fuego Latino with a chance off of 3 scoring passes. There's one, as there's a blocker in the Sisu Mouthguards penalty box now coming back. That's Pip Gray for Wales. 4 points in the books for Haas. Already moving quickly. Made contact there with Pip Gray, who nicely got in the spot there and spilled Haas. And now another move by Jones to knock Haas to the ground, but reestablishing position. So not too bad defense by Wales there, only limiting themselves to 4 points, and maybe change on the power jam as Hazard comes back into play and gets through the pack.
That's it. Important to get Hazard out of the pack there, so that might just retain Wales' lead. Oh, no, it won't, because there's 4 more points on the board, so we have another lead change. 3 lead changes in one half.
Considering our first game on this Joker Floors track, we had no lead changes at all. Finland owning that game. Nice game, I want to say again, from Team Germany, though they did go down to Finland, but Finland really imposed their will in the second half and won that one decisively. 284-90 was the score. Once again, we will try to keep you abreast of scores here at the Roller Derby World Cup as best we can. But again, a lead change there as we have the anthem from Team Babushka on Team 4, and our team's here seeing it now, you can see. And we're going to have, yeah, let's get it. We got a jig. There's no way not to dance to Hava Nagila. There really isn't. We would be dancing if we weren't sitting down. I think the official timeout is so that the skaters can get this anthem out.
It's entirely possible.
They're just in there talking. You can see it. You can see Roger there with his hands on his hips. He's saying, all right, we'll give him a few more seconds. All right, then we'll come back.
Some banging anthems so far this weekend.
Oh, yeah. I remember we talked about how good that Fuego Latino anthem was. It had that bass really in there.
Oh, I think I like that one best so far, but we just heard in the background.
And you would think that maybe somebody out there would say, well, doesn't it take energy away from the skaters if they're dancing? No, dancing is a zero-sum energy activity.
Absolutely.
It actually gives you more energy.
Yeah, it's the mental aspect of it as well. It boosts you, so mind over matter. And now the crowd starting to get a bit of Queen going.
I want to know who brought tambourines. Like, who had the presence of mind to bring tambourines? Because that I think is the ideal crowd instrument. If you remember that 2010 men's football World Cup where everybody had their conniptions about the vuvuzelas. Then you've had kazoos. I saw somebody bring a trombone in once. And that, I mean, I love that. I play trombone. But a tambourine, it's percussive. It still has some bells, so it has some tune with it. And everybody can get into it. Everybody can get a rhythm.
Yeah, the Welsh football team have a brass band called the Barry Horns, which is named after a footballer called Barry Horn. So I think Wales Roll Derby needs to up its game and bring its own brass band.
Let's get some horns in here.
We have, as a nation, some banging tunes ourselves. I mean, it's not quite as good as what we just heard on the other track, but, you know, let's get a bit of Sospenvach and Calon Lan, Men of Harlech.
I like that.
Bit sexist, but still.
So we're going to have some more of an update here. So some important information here at the official timeout lengthened. There is a back block penalty that will be assessed from the previous Jam's White Jammer that is independent of the back block that was requested by Wales. So this will be a power start here for Roxy Toxin. Momentarily, Karma Electrac was out on the WFTDI jam line. You'd never see that. The Welsh coach came over to let Karma Electrac know that she would not be able to jam that one. I honestly like that. That's a bit of it's Haas the Boss going into the Sisu Mouthguards penalty box. It just felt like nice. It's like you don't want them to get a second penalty. But something you never see.
Ilbilly's a nice guy. Will this be the time we see Haas the Boss lose her 100% lead jammer record, or is she going to come out of the box and get it anyway?
All on the defense for Fuego Latino here, and they're doing the job well against Roxy Toxin. Catching both sides of the track. Dominican Dynamite once again. You can see Dominican Dynamite wearing the the black skirt as opposed to the shorts for Fuego Latino. But the jam now moving up to turn number 1. Peace War, the captain in there, and, well...
Oh, it's going to be a jammer switcheroo.
There's a cut on Roxy Toxin.
Hossabos was standing anyway, so she would have been out momentarily. So Roxy Toxin will have to sit probably about 27 seconds of his penalty. And Hossabos does come out of the box, does take lead jammer. Is that the curse of the commentator or just a really good prediction?
That was just a really good prediction.
Yeah, I'm going to take that. I mean, my fellow country people will probably curse me for that, but Roxy Toxin stood in the box, star in hand. I'm allowed to say that because we're on the stream rather than live. So Roxy looking for the star pass, charismatic with the pivot cover for Wales. As Hossabos on a second scoring pass now, having already put 4 points on the board and stretched Fuego's lead. This the furthest Fuego have been in the lead so far today, as we're just the first half winds slowly towards the conclusion. 8 points now on the board for Fuego. This could be as monumental as that 16-point jam which Hossabos put up earlier to restrict it to a 10-point game. And it's now a 10-point game, but in Fuego's favour. Also, we have had a star pass. So it is charismatic now with the star for Wales. Hossabos skips the apex and calls the jam before Karis can put any points up. How many points on that pass? Just waiting for the jam ref to signal. So 0 for Wales, but just waiting to whilst the jam refs 3 points there, so it's now a 13-point lead to Fuego Latino, 69-56. And now we have Badger jamming for Wales up against Karma Electrac. So Karma Electrac recycled back. Oh, Badger knocked off track there. It looks like someone sat on her ankle, but Karma Electrac is out of the pack and has lead for Fuego Latino.
The Fuego Latino pivot in there, trying to say, I believe that's as now Badger does get out of the pack. Karma Electrac is in the pack to score points, as that will be a penalty into the Sisu Mouthguards penalty box. 2 in the box for Fuego Latino. That was Whiskey Von Sweets was just flying around in the pack, knocking players down and out left and right. Nice awareness by Jones to sit back and force that recycle to go a bit further and allow for the 4 points to Badger. Jam going to be called off there by Karma Electrac. So it is 4 points to Wales. Still checking are the officials on those on the points, for Fuego Latino. Want to make an update as we had those anthems on track number 4. I mistakenly said that that was Hava Nagila for Team Babushka. That is Jewish Roller Derby playing Belgium on track number 4, and we can give you that score in the early going. Belgium 8, Jewish Roller Derby 2, just over 26 minutes to go, and those are 2 points to Fuego Latino on that jam. So Wales wins the jam as we go to our halftime intermission. Fuego Latino 71, Wales 60. An exciting first half of play, Liam, where Fuego Latino really pulled things back.
Yeah, blistering start for Wales, but Fuego Latino, that 16-point jam earlier on from Hossabos, who's been the star so far for Fuego from a jamming perspective, has really changed the game. So we will be back in 14 minutes. Thereabouts, so
maybe a little less. We'll come back for you. We love you out there. We want to see you soon.
So, see you soon.
Roller derby is a great emancipator. It's the place where like-minded people gather. It makes me feel powerful and strong when I'm able to jump through the different blockers or do a spin move.
Roller derby helped me remember that I'm an athlete. Roller derby allowed me to feel proud of my size and feel confident with the way I move and just be really proud to be the size and the shape that I am.
That I'm just gonna have a safe space to create and just spill my joy onto the track for everybody to see.
Scald Eagle was always inside pre-derby, but actually getting into roller derby allowed me the space to
amplify that part of my personality.
I often play for the little 14-year-old Lauren inside of me, and I try to make her proud.
I love roller derby.
First rule of Sisu is, wearing a mouth guard is cool. Say the word. Sisu! Second rule of Sisu is, use a thin mouth guard, not a big old gummy one. Say the word. Sisu! Third rule, pick your Sisu style. Fourth rule, talk, breathe, drink, easily. Sisu, Sisu, Sisu! The final rule of Sisu is, unlike others, you've got up to 20 times to remove it. Who's got Sisu? Sisu!
They call it a sport, but we know better. It's a symphony of dedication, grit, and heart. Tuned to one another in a composition of chaos on a stage built for progress. Athlete-driven innovation from the first whistle to the final score. Every hit, every fall, every win, every loss, every team, every season, everybody. We've got you covered.
Broken Hey, I'm Lauren Much, and I wear the S1 Lifer helmet with medium rad liners. I've always felt supported by S1. I always appreciate how they've adapted along as the sport has evolved. I trust the gear, and I love wearing S1 gear.
Not long now till the second half. It's been a surprisingly exciting game. I was optimistic Wales would do well, but the Welsh performance has surprised me. I'll be honest. So.
Is that a surprise just because? Is surprised in what way?
Well, obviously, FUEGO Latino, it's a North Latin American team. North America, Latin America has a mystique, pathos in Europe for, we expect them to just absolutely batter us. And Wales defensively have been fantastic. And the start of the game for Wales as well. And I just think, if Hossabos wasn't playing, well, it would be a very different game.
And to be fair, Wales did have that jam that they held Hossabos to 4 points. And so, like you said, the defense has been doing well. On the other side for FUEGO Latino, just gamely absorbing that first shot from Wales, making the most of their opportunities. And like you said, so it had been Hossabos, I think, 12, Wales 38 at one point. Yeah. But they were able to get other jammers on the board to score. And a lot of that had to do with their defense and the way that their offense played as well. They were able to just get some breaks in the pack, kind of spread Wales's defenders apart, and get some open space for their jammer to work. So FUEGO Latino in the lead here. They will start with Darko in the Sisu Mouthguards penalty box once again.
That's what I say. It's still only an 11-point game, which, as he specified earlier, that's still only 3 scoring passes. We've seen both teams put more than 3 points up in a jam. 3 passes up in a jam. So this game could go topsy-turvy. We've had 3 lead changes in the first 30 minutes. And I'm excited for the second half. I can't wait for these 2 minutes to go really fast.
And we'll give you the reset right now. Both teams will have their official review for the second half. And 3 timeouts remaining for FUEGO Latino. Team Wales did use one of their timeouts in the first half. And that timeout is sponsored by Crash Course, helping busy roller derby athletes increase strength, endurance, and agility, conquer self-doubt, and create the habits of high performers to become all-stars and MVPs on the track and in life. Want to make 2-minute jams feel easy? Visit ChrissyCrash.com to download the free Off-Skates Roller Derby training series. Life is a contact sport. Win, and that's Chrissy with a K, Krissy, Krash.com.
I think I definitely need that. I've never had an easy 2-minute jam in my life.
I was going to say, and as a coach who's never skated, I haven't had an easy 2-minute jam either. Give you some interesting,
carry on.
Some interesting factoids here. FUEGO Latinos, we said this is their first ever Roller Derby World Cup, the borderless team forming in 2023. Over the years, they've had 110 skaters, and they have been based from all the way as far as Colombia, Brazil, Mexico, mostly based out of the U.S., including Alaska. And one of the teams that, due to that spread of skaters, had a virtual tryout system. Started with 70 skaters, narrowed it down to 20.
Wow, 70 skaters. Wow. That's just an insane number. So it looks like both teams are back on track. It's Hossabos against Plant. So Plant started the game for Wales, but Hossabos didn't. So Hossabos still on their 100% lead jammer record, I believe.
Yes, after starting that one jam in the penalty box, and we did get an update there. There was an official timeout that determined Hossabos had committed a back block in jam number 13. And so Hoss started in the box, but FUEGO Latino's defense forced a penalty, and Hossabos came out and got lead. This will be interesting, though, for FUEGO Latino. They're still trying to find consistent success from the rest of their jamming crew, so they won't be able to spam Hossabos in the second half. You want to save as many players as you can, especially your jammers, over the course of a tournament, and especially over the course of this tournament.
And the way both sets of blockers are just bogging down the jammers in this heat, both sets of jammers are going to be getting more and more exhausted. We saw Badger at the end there for Wales, who's So Wales do have 4 jammers in their rotation that they can call upon. And Charismatic sending Hossabos to the outside there. Divine Wrath trying to help out Plant to break the streak of Hossabos, who's currently bogged down, but pushing that Wales wall apart there. Comes up against Pip Gray and scoots around Divine Wrath there and does take lead, does extend that streak. Plant now with a star in hand. Macbeth battering that blocker out of their way, so they are out of the pack. So you think that this will just be the one scoring pass for, just one scoring pass there for Hossabos. That extends their lead to 15 points. Like I say, the biggest lead Fuego have had of the game. So Wales had a 20-plus point lead early on in the game.
So Fuego Latino drawing first here in the second half of play. And we see Hazard coming out. Hazard having a good first half in this game, getting the nice hand there from Karma Electrac. So they've been on the line, the WFTDI jam line a lot today. Going to be a tough series of blockers out for Fuego Latino. Machu Picchu along with Peace War and Darko. Very hard-hitting group. But Hazard trying to find a little bit of space, got a split for a moment, but then it gets a nice hug from Jones as they both went down. Pack spreading out, and Karma Electrac evades the final 2 blockers for Wales. Dos Santos in there along with Angie to get lead. And now Hazard steps around the inside line and gets out for Wales. So both jammers clear. Karma Electrac, nice job by the Fuego Latino blocking crew to spread the pack open. And Karma Electrac just had a lane up right through the middle for 4 points.
And, sorry for my customary butchering of the Welsh language. My Roxytoxin Gydaseran I Cymru and an urban un die mistake. Jamming time. I'm second jamming for the first time, I believe, mistake. Or maybe the second time. Anyway, my Roxytoxin and Cymru del Prifysgorio I Cymru. Seren yn y lawr I mistake. Macbeth yn ceisio I dro'r y cytrac. 4 pwynt I Roxytoxin a Cymru. A nawr Seren newydd, star pass I Fuego Roxytoxin. Y galw y jam y byd. 8 pwynt I Cymru. Nawr 68 yn erbyn 79. So 79 to 68, an 8-point jam there for Roxytoxin and Wales, just reducing that to an 11-point game again.
That second jam of the second half was the first time that Wales had been held scoreless over the last 4 jams, stretching back to the first half, so they respond with an 8-point shutout. Nicely done. Catastrophe now jamming against Haas, the boss for Fuego Latino, trying to stretch that 11-point lead out. Jones, the last line of defense along with Dos Santos. Wales doing a nice job of tracking, maintaining body position, but Haas, the boss, squeezes through to get lead.
Haas, the boss doing what Haas, the boss does and getting a lead jammer there. As the Sisu mouthguard penalty box is now officially empty. As that is Blue Jay returning to track as Hossabos now on their having completed their second scoring pass. As I thought they had.
Haas coming into contact with the Wales blockers, bouncing off to the inside, evading Dos Santos to get 4 more points, as the star will go once again to Meg Jones, number 191 for Wales. Wales trying to take position at the front of the pack. Nice work by Helen Drew to get around the blocker on the inside line. So Wales with good position, but they do give up 2 more points. And Haas the boss with another double-digit effort, 10 points, and the Fuego Latino lead goes back up to 21. 25 minutes and change left on the clock in the second period.
So Fuego saw Wales' 8-point jam and said, I'll raise you a 10-point jam. So, and now we have Plant up against Karma Electrac. So it looks like we have one Welsh blocker, I believe that's Angie, in the Sisu Mouthguard's box.
Plant's had some good success so far in the game, but not finding much room to work there against Fuego Latino.
So Plant just one blocker between them and lead, and Wales have the second lead of the half. So alternating leads so far in this half. As Angie returns to the track, we have had a star pass. It's Peace War once again with the star for Fuego. Plant calling the jam on the floor. 2 points signalled. Was it 3? 3 points signalled there for Wales, taking them to 71 points to 89.
There was a double whammy in there for Fuego Latino. They were asking for a low block on the Wales jammer, as I believe that Plant was trying to jump the apex or trying to jump through on the straightaway, made contact with the blocker there. The blocker went to the penalty box, and then at the tail end of the jam, they had Darko go to the penalty box as well. So now lead jammer going to Hazard. Hazard, having done a very good job in the first half for Wales, gets lead here now and jumps the apex immediately on the first scoring pass. Hazard coming around with a determined look on their face. She's trying to get Wales right back into the lead, and good job by the Wales blockers to spread out Fuego Latino and limit their effectiveness, getting in that triangle to hold things down. Nice defense, nice offense from Angie, the captain. It's another scoring pass for Hazard.
It's a big jam so far for Wales, and Hazard goes for the apex jumper. It's just taken out in the air. We had a star pass to, I believe. I thought we had a star pass.
We did. Anyway, no, we did. I could not catch the jammer of record there at the end.
But Hazard calling that jam. Didn't pick up any points on that pass, but another 8-0 jam to Wales. It's now reducing the differential to 10 points. And we've got Roxy Toxin up jamming again for Wales, up against Hoss the Boss. Oh, Roxy looks like she's sprinting up the outside line then and to take lead, but once again just denied at the last second there by the blocker. And Hoss the Boss once again with lead for Fuego Latino.
That looked like an optical illusion. Hoss the Boss made contact with the Welsh blocker, who was lateraling to the inside, got the contact, but jumped off her and stayed in bounds. It looked like there was just an invisible rope that pulled her back into play.
So Hoss the Boss picking up 4 points there just as Roxy Toxin leaves for the box and tries to smash Roxy off track, but nothing doing there, and calls the jam. So restricted to just 4 points there. And again, great defensive work by Wales.
Nice bit of respect. We've seen some real camaraderie from the jammers from both teams. Every time they come out to the line, the WFTDI jam line, they're greeting each other very warmly.
I think it's like, you always see that in football as well, or soccer in this case. If the goalkeepers always seem to love each other on both teams, because it's like you both go through hell, so it's a comrades in arms sort of thing. But yeah, whereas blockers just hate each other. So that is lead to Calm Electric there. Badger with the star in hand for Wales as Angie goes to the penalty box. Calm Electric just weaving in and out like slaloming the Welsh blockers there. Meg Jones has the star for Wales, but is just pushed off track. So Calm Electric pushing her way past Thrill House there. Wales have 2 blockers now in the Sisu Mouthguard's box as the pivot for Fuego is set down. So Fuego Latino have passed the century point now, 101 points to 79. Meg Jones eligible to pick up points, so Calm Electric's hands up were in the air to ask, do you want me to call the jam? But they've got 2 blockers in the box. So the bench coach says, no, run it please. So Meg Jones now picking up some points for Wales. Both jammers out of play, well, off the track and being sent all the way back. And Wales retreating, allowing Fuego to just push Jammer back so much further. But yeah, that jam was called. 3 points on that pass for both jammers. 108 to 82. 15 points to 3 jam there.
Yeah, interesting. You have to make a choice in the moment as a blocker how you want to recycle the opposing jammer, and they chose to do the very, very long recycle, dragging the entire pack back. But you wanted to see if they could get some time for Meg Jones to get back on the track and score rather than have to make all that way back as well. So Wales going to put it in the hands of Plant here against Haas the Boss. Plant having done a very nice job in both of our halves here. But now, right now at the rear end of the pack, trying to force her way through with some help from Helen Drew. Recycled for Haas the Boss behind number 18, Charismatic. And Plant has enough time to get in. That last jam, 15 points, the highest scoring jam of the game. And after the star pass to Peace War, a blocking out of play penalty. So it'll be a power jam opportunity here for Wales. That first end of that power jam is going to be shut down by Diosa Azteca, forcing Plant down, who comes back and says, let's calm things down. As now, once again, we have a long recycle here. Haas the Boss telling Fuego Latino to keep going backwards. Pack established here as Wales slowing things down. Smart by Charismatic at the top of the pack to slow the speed down. As you know, whichever pack establishes speed, if the other pack continues against that direction of play, they'd be called for breaking the pack.
So we thought it might be a power jam, but apparently the pivot committed a penalty before they took the star. So the star did go back to Hossabos Ebert. Hossabos's streak ended by Plant there. First time they've been restricted to 0 points as well. So
doubly important jam for Wales, even in the late stages of this game, as we are just about 18 minutes gone, and we will have a timeout here. Team timeout by Fuego Latino, their first timeout, and of course, we'll get you that sponsor in just a moment, but important for Wales to hold the jammer that they've been having trouble with scoreless and out of the lead spot. Now let's give you that sponsor for the first team timeout for Fuego Latino.
So our team timeouts are sponsored by Crash Course. Crash Course helps busy roller derby athletes increase strength, endurance and agility, conquer self-doubt and create the habits of high performers to become all-stars and MVPs on the track and in life. Want to make a 2-minute jam feel easy? Visit Chrissy Crash, that's with Chrissy Crash with a K.com to download the free Off Skates Roller Derby training series. Life is contact sport. Win.
So we got some fun stuff in the Discord here. If you haven't joined the Roller Derby World Cup 2025 Discord, you should do so. I can't give you the full address on stream because it's a lot of letters. And letters that aren't words are just jumbled for me. But look up the Discord for Roller Derby World Cup 2025. Tripsy Danger says, I swear Hazard has her own laws of gravity. I mean, that's true for Haas the Boss too, but jammers, when they can just seemingly jump in a U shape around on the straightaways, it's just incredible to me every single time.
So we have actually seen 2 apex jumps from Hazard, which I think is the most apex jumps in the game so far. Oh, does that count as an apex jump? But Hazard is lead. Are they lead?
And so now here's what's going to come into play. There was a whistle. Once again, the skaters all heard the same whistle and started. Hazard went over the WFTDI jam line, did yield but did not go back. I believe that out of play penalty for contact was a result of leaving before that first whistle. So Hazard was out front first but gets the penalty. Power jam opportunity for Fuego Latino.
Oh, I thought it was a cut track because I thought her foot was very close to the line on the inside, but yeah, so it is the lead for Kamalektrack, who now puts further 4 points up on the board for Fuego Latino. Fuego Latino starting to pull away now. This is a 30-point game. It's the biggest lead we've had of the entire game so far, but still over a quarter of a game left to go, so anything could happen. Hazard is back on track with the star in hand. Meg Jones nearby to potentially take the star pass. But Hazard says, oh, you're not needed. I am out and eligible to pick up points on my own. But Calm Electric there calling the jam. Another 4 points, taking the total to 12 there. So a big lead now starting to build for Fuego Latino. 120 to 86.
Yeah, I was thinking earlier, they were trying to stretch those 20-point leads out to 30. Wales was trying to get those 20-point and 10 double-digit leads down to single digits, and it's gone the way of Fuego Latino so far. Costly power jam there, but we'll see if they can reverse things behind Plant. Hoss the Boss jamming for Fuego Latino. Under 16 minutes and 17 seconds left, as immediately Wales went back, trying to swallow up Hoss the Boss, doing the job right now. Now one blocker, Divine Roth, was going to leave for offense momentarily. Hoss the Boss out on the outside, well, just down, not all the way out, and that'll work to her advantage as she stayed in bounds, swung around to the inside, absorbed one more block, and regained right side up position. Hoss the Boss lead jammer for Fuego Latino.
So I thought plan to go for the star pass to Charismatic there, but just dummied that and pushing that, well, a full 4 wall dedicated to defense here for Fuego, as Charismatic tries and smash 2 of those out of the way. And but it was only temporary as they reformed, as Hoss the Boss now takes the inside line, puts 4 points on the board for Fuego Latino.
You can see that fatigue settling in, but credit to Hoss the Boss. She has not let up at all during this game.
We have had a star pass. Charismatic is now the jammer for Wales, but still on that initial pass. Trying to push her way past 1031. That's Whiskey Von Sweets there. That's the most soul-destroying thing. Charismatic is out. I was going to say most soul-destroying thing is when you think you're out and a 3-wall reforms out of thin air in front of you. But yeah, Hoss the Boss re-establishing her dominance as a premier jammer so far today for Fuego Latino. 7 points on that jam.
There's no better. Sorry. No better description of Hoss the Boss, her skill and how she's played today. It's one thing to have the talent, one thing to have the skill. It's another thing to put it into play. And Hoss the Boss, even from the early going when Wales had control of the game, was really taking it to Wales. We'll have an official timeout here. Official timeout on the track. 127 the score for Fuego Latino, 86 the score for Wales. 14 minutes, 22 seconds left in the game. Right now, we have Mistake on the WFTDI jam line for Fuego Latino, and Catastrophe 1917 jamming for Wales. We've got the fans going for the both teams. You see Welsh coach number 88 talking with Catastrophe, but it also has the fan just in case it needs some air. Our officials are using their clipboards to fan themselves. I think we need somebody over here with one of those big palm fronds to help us out during the game.
I've noticed there are fans in the penalty box as well, so that when you get a penalty you get rewarded with cooling yourself down.
Is that the reward?
Yeah. So it's about time getting a penalty paid off for you.
But yeah, it is honestly. We wish you were here with us, even if you are on the stream. Hopefully, you're on the stream just taking advantage of the aircon in your hotel room, and you'll come over to Olympia World later in the day when it's hotter, or maybe after the rainstorm that is forecast to come in. But right now, you're seeing a heck of a game. Fuego Latino taking control, getting a lead change. About 6 minutes left in the first half, and they have not. Wales had one lead change to go up 49-46. So after that, Fuego Latino took the lead, and they have not lost it, and they currently lead by 41 points.
Yeah, big lead for Fuego Latino. Still a quarter of a game left, so no tides may turn yet as the heat starts to set in. But, we're not used to heat in Wales. We don't even have a word for sunlight in Wales. So.
Oh.
But trust me, I can speak a tiny bit of Welsh, as I've demonstrated.
Is that for real? There's no.
No.
I'll see. You got me.
It's just a really rubbish joke I tell people. I also say we don't have a word for victory, but.
I did see on the Discord that want to make sure I've got this right. I think it was Beard from TCS who said early on, "Don't panic. Wales always play better in the second half." Probably. And then the response came from Ripper, the UK special.
Yeah, we tend to take our time to warm up into games. So we're getting a nice shot of lots of Welsh flags in the crowd. I can see Welsh shirts ahead of us, Welsh shirts behind us. None to the side though. So.
Yeah, none beside. It's like we are not encircled by Wales.
So, not yet. So.
There we go. Matthew Rees would be proud.
Absolutely. So.
I'll give you some more information while we have a bit of a break here. Once again, I'm Jumping Spider here with Liam Needsome, and as you can see, we are representing our home teams, as that's our announcer theme today. Represent your home league. Liam, what do you got on North Wales, man?
This is the North Wales MRDA team, who I briefly skated for. The highlight of my career was playing 3 jams live on the BBC in the Tier 3 playoff final.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's. I didn't let in any points either, so I was statistically the best blocker. So, and I'm going to stick with that. I was the 15th best player in the team, but the best blocker on that day. So I've actually got 3 different tops to wear today because I started with Evolution Roller Derby in Shrewsbury. So I'll be wearing my Evo top for one of the games afterwards, and I've also got my Wirral Roller Derby top to wear later on because my partner Pixel skates for Wirral Pack Animals, and I also announce for them when they let me. So yeah, I have many home leagues in my eyes. I'm a citizen of everywhere. So.
I've got my Windy City Rollers T-shirt on, as you can see. It's coincidentally Illinois, who's also with Windy City Rollers, coming over as our alternate official to give us the results of that official timeout. And I did bring the T-shirt from the league that I started with, the Peoria Push Derby Dames, no longer in existence, but the logo was a cartoonish shovel from an earth mover, as Caterpillar is headquartered in Peoria, Illinois.
Oh, wow.
But I am always eternally grateful to the Peoria Push, who after I saw my first roller derby game in 2010 and nervously went to the after party to ask someone there what I could do to become part of this team and help out, as I, like everybody else, saw roller derby and thought it was the greatest thing that I'd ever seen. As I always wanted to be a sports announcer. They said come back in the spring when our season starts, and I've been going ever since 2011.
Oh wow! So my Evolution Roll Derby top, it's the logo is a chimpanzee with Charles Darwin's head on it, because Shrewsbury is the hometown of Charles Darwin, who originated the theory of evolution.
I really like that.
Yeah, the Wirral top is very nondescript. There's water near Wirral, so I think there's a boat on it possibly. It's not the most imaginative top in the world. So we were just waiting for... There is a post-it in existence that tells us what is going on here. Oh.
White 5-5. White 5-5 is going to be ejected for...
Okay, so we did see in the midst of that jam, and I was wondering if we were going to have a chance to talk. So Haas the Boss was knocked to the inside, made contact with the white jam official. The officials huddled, determined that was avoidable contact with an official. So Haas the Boss has been ejected, disqualified from the rest of this game, and Karma Lectrack is going to sit the penalty in the Sisu Mouthguards penalty box. So this could be as big of a moment as we've seen. Hazard jamming for Wales, in lead right now, and the lion's share point score for Fuego Latino no longer available with over 12 minutes to play in the rest of the game.
That is big. That is, well, potentially very big for Wales, and a shame for Haas the Boss because they were playing absolutely brilliantly. It just goes to show how your day can go sour in just a moment, unfortunately, which isn't what we want to see.
Yeah, it's a tough call because that was a big-time hit for all Haas the Boss, and made contact, as we said, with our jam officials. You see them coming around right now. Arisol, who was calling for Peace War, who took the star on that jam. But Wales, I believe, will win the jam officials conferring. It was the avoidable contact is the key there. That they determined that Haas the Boss had a chance to miss that contact with the official, but they got hit pretty hard and were trying to regain balance, and the jam official went down as well. So I think that was the important part of it. But nevertheless, no Haas the Boss for Fuego Latino over the last 13 minutes and 57 seconds. 3 points going into the jam for Hazard on the last jam, and they'll start things out now with Roxy Toxin and lead jammer going to mistake for Fuego Latino.
So yeah, that's exactly what Fuego Latino want in the absence of their star jammer, is to take lead straight away, which Mistake has done. Roxy Toxin being recycled on the outside there as a first scoring pass goes through for Mistake, stretching that lead out again. So a Mistake coming out for a second scoring pass, but it's just knocked off track there by, I believe that is Helen Drew for Wales. Macbeth recycling the jammer all the way to the box, to the back even. As Charismatic returns from the Sisu Mouthguards penalty box and rejoins for Frey and takes the star, so Wales now eligible to put some points on the board. Mistake says enough's enough, I'm going to call that jam before Karis even gets halfway around the track. Further 4 points on the board, so that's an 8-0 jam to Fuego Latino. So, you know, maybe the loss of Hossabos not going to impact him too dramatically, and Wales not sending anyone to track yet, so I think they're going to call an official a team timeout. So yeah, so we have our sponsors for the team timeouts. Crash Course helps build roller derby athletes. Helps busy roller derby athletes increase strength, endurance, and agility, conquer self-doubt, and create the habits of high performers to become all-stars and MVPs on the track and in life. Want to make 2-minute jams feel easy? I know I do. Visit ChrissyCrash.com to download the free off-skates roller derby training series. Life is a contact sport. Win.
I was going to say, Liam, it's dependent on the team morale, and I think your captains and your coaches in a moment like that, when you lose one of your top-tier players, especially, again, with the conditions, we're in the second half, we're getting into that gut check portion of the game where you have to take as many deep breaths as you can, but just kind of play anaerobic-type derby where everybody has to take their game up a level, and you saw it on that last jam where Fuego Latino didn't say, well, we're going to have to kind of survive. They want to thrive in this game, and that's what you do with an 8-point jam, and you hold the other team scoreless.
So we have Hazard now on the WFTDI jam line up against 027 Karma Electrac. And the jam has started, but both walls congealing around the jammers there. Yeah, I told you I'd say it. Karma Electrac. Now into lead for Fuego Latino. So Fuego Latino taking lead in 2 of the 3 jams since they lost Hossabos. So the jammers showing, we're here too. Star pass there to Meg Jones, pushed through there by Thrill House. Wales able to pick up some points.
That was a great star pass. As you saw, Hazard was slowly moving back, and 3 of the Fuego Latino defenders were following, and the star was up at the front of the pack.
Yeah, Meg is very good at taking sneaky star. I saw one earlier where the jammer just put a hand behind their back, and then Meg just swept the star out of her hand.
That's like the floppy disk pass in Office Space.
So we have Plant up against Mistake. Mistake taking lead last time out, I believe. So
this is an important jam for Wales here. Plant's been doing very well, but Fuego Latino has seemingly said, we are going to dig in with everything that we've got for the rest of this game.
Plant just trying to stay on the toe stops, but slid off the track there, but still eligible to pick up lead. Fuego Latino's blocking is just insane now. You think you're through, and then another one appears from nowhere, but Plant does take lead for Wales.
Darko heading to the Sisu Mouthguards penalty box here.
You're joined by Macbeth, so a blocker apiece in there, so no one available to do offense for either jammer, but Mistake still on their initial scoring pass. Wales need to start putting up a multiple pass jams in order to eat into this lead, because the clock is ticking. There is 10 minutes left, but at the moment they're being restricted to single pass jams so far.
Now, smart by Fuego Latino there. Darko took a out-of-play blocking penalty before on that scoring pass. Whiskey Von Sweets was close but let go, as the Star will now go to Whiskey Von Sweets, the pivot. And a bit of an easier time here after some offense for Wales for Plant to get a 4-point scoring pass. Whiskey Von Sweets spun down, stayed in bounds, now heading out of bounds, has lost one cap, and yep, she will go back to pick that up. That was the jammer cap that fell down to the outside. She will ditch the pivot cap. Meanwhile, Plant in and maneuvers around Machu Picchu. This is the biggest jam, I believe, for Wales here in the second half. 12 points on the board so far, still 10 seconds to go. Plant back in for another scoring pass, trying to get those last 4.
So it must have been an illegal star pass because the jammer is now back on track and picking the star up from the floor. So that is just what the doctor ordered for Wales. Another 4 points. Is that 16-0, and now a 33-point game. So, team timeout now to Fuego Latino. So yeah, that is exactly what Wales needed at this point in time. And if they can stand any chance of getting back into this game, they need another couple of jams like that, and quick.
Most definitely. And you saw the defense doing the job. Divine Roth has been at the apex of that triangle of blockers all day for Team Wales if they're not coming up to do offense or hold the pack and play. But they, along that last jam with Macbeth, I was not sure. I believe the captain Angie might have been out there as well. But that was excellent defense to really slow things down, and that didn't force the mistake of the illegal star pass, but they just kept things steady and grounded against Fuego Latino, and then things opened up a bit for Plant on those last couple of scoring passes. The first 8 points were really hard to get. The last 8 points were a little more free-flowing.
Yeah, I think helped. The illegal star pass helped because the pivot was taken out of action, really, so they had a power jam and 3 blockers, essentially, for a period of time. So it's now catastrophe for Wales up against Carmellectrac. So how do Fuego Latino respond to that last jam?
This, according to our stat sheet, will be the first jam in the second half for Catastrophe. There was a switch in a break and play. The Catastrophe went back to the bench, and Roxy Toxin came out, jamming against Carmellectrac, who has a little bit of daylight momentarily, but now Wales going to settle into their triangle of blockers. Dos Santos at the top of that. Catastrophe trying to find some space as everybody goes down in the back of the pack. Fuego Latino does reset well. Both sets of defenses holding their ground. Now we're going to have, I thought that was a multiplayer block call on Blue Jay, who will head to the Sisu Mouthguards penalty box, and now the captain Angie going to the Sisu Mouthguards penalty box as well. Carmellectrac getting around Dos Santos, who goes to the ground for lead jammer, and a star pass to who else but Meg Jones. Meg Jones for Wales.
I should be thrilled with that. So Wales trying to speed that wall up to take the time away from the clock, but 4 points were picked up there on that pass for Fuego, 0 for Wales. So that's just reasserting that 37-point differential. 7 minutes left in the game. Oh. Is it possible? I mean, physically it's possible. I've actually saw a 36-point jam the other week in an MRDA game by a Welsh jammer, no less. But I'm not going to name check Bankai because that'll just give him a really big head. So 3 blockers apiece on a track. It is Roxy Toxin against Olivia Shootin' John. This is the first time we've seen Olivia Shootin' John in this half, I believe. So
you beat Iron Lungs on his note.
Woo! Occasionally I get a statistic right, but Olivia, I was going to say Olivia Shootin' John took lead, but it's a cut track penalty, so it is a power jam for Wales. Roxy Toxin still on that initial pass. They have 30 seconds of which to assert some Welsh dominance here. And Roxy Toxin is out for lead. Yes, the lead has been signalled. So Roxy Toxin needs to put some points on the board, and Wales need to hold that jammer in place, and that is a lovely sweep there. I say Welsh blocker goes to Roxy's at Angie again. So the jammer returns to track, but still on their initial pass. So Roxy Toxin now on their second scoring pass. If Wales can hold Olivia Shooten-John here, they stand a chance to put up some points, but Roxy Toxin does not quite get out on the inside line there, but Pip Gray holding back Olivia Shooten-John, joined now by Macbeth, but Olivia Shooten-John just spins and pivots out. And Roxy Toxin calls that jam. That should be, and then 4 points. There's an 8-point jam to Wales, 8-0. So big maths time. Is that 39 points? 29 points?
29.
29 points, yeah. I work in finance, so I should be able to do this stuff in my head.
Liam.
Yeah, I know. I'm a disappointment to my parents and my profession. So 29 points, 5 minutes left. We could have an exciting finish in our hands here.
That was a good jam for Wales. Angie, the captain, going for that sweep, did take a penalty, but this is the time of the game, the end game, where you're down, and as long as you're not close to fouling out, you can afford to take those penalties, as you see Angie now coming back from the Sisu Mouthguards penalty box, and Hazard finding some space around Whiskey Von Sweets to get lead on the inside line. Look at Hazard, claps the hands and is just pumped up to get back into this. I don't know if I would be as hyped to get into the Fuego Latino defense, but Hazard is trying their best to get some points here now.
I maintain the jammers aren't human. If they're like really enthusiastic about smashing into someone, there's 4 points on the board there for Wales. As the star is passed, so now we have, is it Whiskey Von Sweets with the star?
Oh, that's Peace War.
Peace War, sorry. Peace War, oh, that looks a bit like potentially a back. Oh, my goodness.
Now everybody's just flying around like I was going to say like dominoes.
I think a back block penalty has been assessed against someone. No, I'm lying.
No, that's going to Machu Picchu heading to the Sisu Mouthguards penalty box, but no back block penalties on either star.
No, I thought I saw potentially one from each of them there, but I don't have the best angle from all the way over here. But Peace War, both jammers eligible to pick up points. Hazard clearing the box there and calling the jam. So 4 points for Wales, 3 for Fuego Latino on that pass. So it's 8 points in the jam for Wales. So that takes another 5 points off. 24 points. I can do that maths in my head. 24 points, 3 minutes left, and Plant with the star for Wales.
1 timeout and 1 official review available for each team. And I saw the Welsh coaches going out to speak with the officials, and they were going to call that official review. I have an idea. I think we both do of what they might be asking for, but we'll wait for the official word.
From my point of view, I think both bench coaches have a shout at a back block, because I felt that Hazard committed a back block penalty just before that they appeared to be back blocked by
Peace War.
Peace War, yeah, so we might see a sort of an official review from Fuego Latino perhaps, but like I say, my angle from here isn't the best in the world, so I could be wrong. But I'd hazard a guess, no pun intended, that like you say, they are looking for a back block penalty against the Fuego jammer.
And you could tell that Fuego was aware that Wales is creeping back into the game, because Peace War, with the skill, I don't want to make that mistake of saying Peace War has the skill for those apex jumps, but in that moment where the pack was, making that apex jump was a bit of a risk, and in that moment, Hazard was coming around the outside into the second turn, and both jammers contacted each other and went spinning down. And then just a flying block came in and upended Hazard once again.
Yeah, it was carnage in that moment, wasn't it?
So we have our official review here, still going on. Glitterous in the mirror spot out on the track, speaking with the blockers for Fuego Latino, who do still have Machu Picchu in the Sisu Mouthguards penalty box. Box is clear for Team Wales. We will get the results of that official review in just a moment, but just a quick score update from our other track number 4 here in the TVAG Arena. Team Belgium leading Jewish Roller Derby by the score of 134-41.
I'm not sure about the other games, but this is definitely the closest game I've had my eyes on so far today. So if you're watching this, you have chosen wisely. Unfortunately, you will then have to listen to my boring voice, but thankfully Jumping Spider has a wonderful voice.
Liam is trying to big me up, and I appreciate it. To kick off our action today over on track 1, which we'll let you know what.
That was USA against Chile.
Yes, and USA 455, Chile 34.
34 is 24 last lap. That's impressive.
Against the ultimate reigning world champions, you would say.
Never defeated.
Canada was leading Colombia 102-14. Don't have a final halftime score right now. 144-18 Team Canada over Selección Colombia, and that is on track 1. On track 2, the Sisu Mouthguards track. So my phone is not cooperating now. It's loading.
So I believe we've had a victory on this track earlier on for Finland against Germany, and
Finland 284 over Team Germany, 284-90 there. Our score on track 2 is we had some good watch parties down in Australia. They were playing Salam. At halftime, it was 196 Australia, 8 to Salam.
And it's looking from the body language like the official review has been accepted. So Peace War is with star in hand heading towards a penalty box, so it will be a power jam start to Wales. Plant with the star. Yeah, so as we speculated, it was the attempted apex jump into the back of Hazard that has resulted in the back-ball penalty. And now Plant on the outside takes lead jammer for Wales. 24 points separating the two teams. 3 minutes left in the game. Things could get a bit spicy.
Oh, this is the time for both teams to make a stand, and Plant saying, I'm going to make my stand right here. Going 1 foot flamingo on the inside line for first 4 points.
It's a high block penalty assessed against Charismatic there as the jammer returns to the track for Fuego Latino. Oh, Pip Gray trying to just whip Plant around the outside, but they were just held back. As Peace Call from the box straight through that Welsh wall. Wales didn't seem aware that the jammer was back on track. Plant hits the wall. And, well, the game goes on. I would have expected that to have been called then with the Fuego jammer eligible to pick up points, but I'm not a bench coach. 4 points there put up by Peace War. Plant still on their third scoring pass, does call that jam. So an additional 4 points there. So an 8-point differential over the jam for Wales. So it has reduced it to 16 points. Just 100 seconds left in the game. So yeah, it's exciting times.
Once again, both teams with an official review and a timeout remaining. Wales, as a result of that successful OR, retains. And we will have an official timeout here. It looked like the 5 seconds was about to go to 0, but an official timeout. And immediately we saw Dominican Dynamite went down to one knee. If that is not an expression of what both teams have been putting into this game, I don't know what else is. It is the most arduous conditions that I've seen in a while that are not playing outside in the summertime.
Oh, wow.
So this is a I don't want to say a true World Cup. This is, I think, the test of all tests in terms of a World Cup play. How both teams have had to manage through the conditions and the heat. The sport court especially, because as soft as it is, it absorbs so much when you put that skate in the ground and try and push off. So Fuego Latino on the track right now. Karma Electrac went out there and everybody just took a deep kind of centering breath. Hazard, on the other hand, grooving back to the WFTDI jam line. Wales feels good, I think, about their chances here.
Yeah, I think the momentum is Wales at the moment, but Fuego need a lead. When was the last time Fuego got lead? It's been a good 3 or 4 jams, I think. I'm getting the nod. 4 jams since Fuego got lead. But both jammers currently stuck in that really tight pack there. Oh, Hazard dancing on toe stops in the inside line, but can't force their way through. And the pivot for Fuego heads to the box, so Hazard has one less obstacle from a Welsh perspective. But those 3 that she's dealing with are quite formidable.
Hazard trying to get lead here, has a couple of blockers to beat, but still stymied. Under about 30 seconds left on our period clock. So this might be one, Liam, where Wales gets their points and calls timeout before the game runs out.
I think that would be the wise option at this point in time. But so yeah, not long left in the game at all. Hazard picks up 4 points. Is told by the bench coach to run it. So I believe this will be the last action of the game. So Wales really needs some points out as they star pass. So an apex jump, and the star has been passed. Hazard has called for jam.
And with
Hazard's looking at the period clock.
We'll see if they got that in. The coach immediately went out to call timeout. Hazard called it, from our view, with about 3 seconds remaining on the period clock.
Yes.
And the timeout's been accepted. The officials are signaling timeout.
Yes. So we will have one more jam. 8 points for differential in this game.
And our official comes over and says there is 2 seconds left on the game clock. So Wales, 8 points there, cuts the lead in half. And they've got 9 points to make up to win, 8 points to tie. And I could see the coach in the mirror spot for Wales, hands on head, fan in hand. I know our fans, our supporters here might want overtime. I don't know how much our players and our coaches want overtime.
Oh, I've never seen an overtime jam.
I've seen 2 in my life somehow, and they are both the most heart and throat things that you will ever see.
Oh. So it is planned. Apologies for the lack of Welsh language in the second half. I've just been far too excited to butcher my own language. So the crowd is electric here. Maybe you can hear it at home. But it's planned with the star for Wales up against Karma Electrac, 2 of the best jammers out there today. So.
And remember, folks, if you got into this game in the first half and had to step away for any reason, Haas the Boss, number 55 for Fuego Latino, was disqualified in our second half for making contact with an official. So no Haas the Boss for Fuego Latino, who had been their leading point scorer throughout the game. Plant and Karma Electrac led this game off. It is expected, depending on how our score finalizes, that they will finish at least the regulation play of this game. There's an official review now taken. Official review, Fuego Latino. We will get the results of that official review, of course, when our alternate official comes over. But once again, 1 timeout remaining for Fuego Latino. 1 official review pending the results of this. No timeouts. Wales took their last timeout to pause the game with 2 seconds left. They do have an official review remaining should they choose to use it.
We just had a shot of Esther from Bridgend Roller Derby with the daffodil on her head, looking very upset. I thought, how can you have a daffodil on your head and look that upset, Esther? Also had a nice shot of Iceland. There's Slady, formerly of North Wales, there. So just spotting all my friends in the crowd. Icelandic players looking miserable as well. They're a really lovely bunch, honestly. So you can only really speculate that Fuego Latino must be asking for a power jam with this official review. So can you imagine if we have one more jam and it's a power jam start to Fuego?
Oh my gosh. And the way that Karma Electrac's really come on here in the late stages of the second half would just try to slide through, get lead and call off the jam. But I've seen those kinds of calls where in the heat of a moment, just trying to get out and call off the jam and get the game called, where you get skating out of bounds penalties, where there's no contact. Sometimes you get a blocking out of play penalty. Just any of those little things that happen when you, in the moment, you're thinking about, I need to call this jam so the coach can call time, and you're not necessarily thinking about staying within the bounds of the track, making sure you don't make contact outside of 20 feet. Those little things And especially with the heat and the fatigue, it's the end of the game. Those are things that the mind doesn't focus on in that moment.
No. Some of the Welsh fans leading us in a chorus of Oggy, Oggy, Oggy a moment ago. So Wales very well represented in the crowd today. So making lots and lots of noise, as the Welsh tend to do. We're a very noisy nation, considering we're so small.
Well, you've got to be loud when you're small. That's what my old roommate would say.
So it sounds like Fuego have requested a cut track penalty against Hazard, but it was negative, so it will be even-handed in this jam. At least I believe that's...
Yep, we got confirmation from both Nasty Moves and the official Wolverine in the middle, who motioned to the scorer's table that there would be no penalty. So
we have everyone on track except that one blocker currently stood in the box for Fuego Latino. So Plant with 3 blockers to get past, and Calm Electric with 4 for Wales.
And we'll have the official results of that review.
White wanted a cut penalty on the red jammer from the previous jam. They were hit out by white blocker 809, but they didn't. The initiator went out, and they didn't cut it.
So here we go. This will be the last action of the game. So, Plant looking down the inside line, but Calm Electric at the front of the pack, trying to push away. Is that a power jam? It is a power jam to Wales. Calm Electric is going to the box. This could be game changing. Plant still on that initial pass, trying to force their way through. Just one blocker, and Plant takes lead. Jammer for Wales. And lead for Wales. Power jam, 8 points separating the two teams. Oh my goodness. It's a good job. I don't need what's gone?
The jam's concluding. I think there's a skater down on the track. Looks like they took a hit to the mouth. And so the jam is stopped in the midst of things for our medical staff to come onto the track. So we've had a stop to this jam.
Oh, so what will we get another jam, or is that?
I'm not sure if that'll. I've never seen that happen before, especially in that type of situation. Plant was out in the lead, I believe, coming into the pack to score. Had scored the 4 points, was it?
I don't think they put any points up. They were just about to make contact with the wall to pick up points. And judging by the expression on Coach Hillbilly's face, I don't think we're going to get another jam, possibly.
So Whiskey Von Sweets checking in with the medical personnel. There is blood present.
Yeah, so this isn't a tactical call-off. This is a genuine.
Yeah, you had to stop the jam for both the injury and the blood.
Yeah.
So far, both coaches speaking with their teams and the officials congregating on the infield. So, wow, Liam, I've never seen that before.
So, judging by the body language again, I think maybe we might get another jam, in which case it will be a power jam start to Wales.
Right now, Calm Electric is still seated in the Sisu Mouthguards penalty box, has the aforementioned fan as a reward for committing that infraction. And so we're going to see the results here momentarily. Right now, we're in a state of suspended animation. Where there was 1 minute and 15 seconds about left on the jam clock. The period clock had expired as we started with 2 seconds, but Wales had the lead. They were on a power jam, and in the midst of that scoring pass, we had a stoppage in play for injury.
The blockers are heading back to the engagement zone, so we will get another jam by the looks. It will be a power jam start to Wales. It's Plant again. So there is more drama to come yet.
Yeah, that was the most dramatic it could get. As you said, Plant going to be jamming for Wales. I see Darko. That is Diosa Azteca. And Olivia Shootin' in defense right now for Fuego Latino.
Yeah,
and Peace War, of course.
With
Yeah.
a pivot,
We're going to see Peace War heading out there.
So I see Dos Santos, Pip Gray, Macbeth, and Charismatic for Wales.
So I would say interesting because Angie has played such a good game here.
So we're going to have an extra jam. Since there was time left on the game clock, extra jam.
Yeah, so that is confirmation that we will have the extra jam because that game.
I don't really know how that works. I would think if it's an extra jam, it's an extra full jam.
So
Red had lead, they got a call.
So I'm trying to multitask, listening to the official and talking to you at the same time.
Do the right thing.
I should just not multitask. I should just shut up. I believe Skatey Perry is asking, well, what about those points? Because I think you're right. I think there was potentially points in that jam for Wales. So they're just asking the question of the jam ref. So we might yet see some points put up for Wales, which lessens our chance of an overtime jam.
Well, it's so interesting because in that moment, the officials are doing their job, but once the jam is called for blood, you can expect that they're just looking for what the stoppage's play is and trying to take care of the skater as best they can.
Yeah.
So it's hard press on the officials, the jam officials, to not only check the points they had in that moment, but after everything gets resettled, remember the exact number of points that they saw. When in a regular course of the game, you're conferring with an official to determine how many points were scored. So I saw Skatey Perry go back shaking her head, and that's usually the universal signal from a coach that we didn't get what we wanted. So I think we're going to start from scratch here on this last jam, and will be, I believe, a 2-minute jam with no time on the clock. Still Carmelec in the penalty box, the Sisu Mouthguards penalty box, and this is important. Time will have come off that penalty.
Yeah, I believe they were standing as well, so they had less than 10 seconds. So we could well see Carmelec come out of the box and take lead. Last time I predicted that, that's what happened. So.
Let's see. Right now she is still seated, so maybe we're resetting the entirety of the jam there, and as well as the penalty time. The penalty box officials were conferring with Carmelec, letting her know what happened. Now she does stand, so there are 10 seconds or less left on the penalty for Carmelec. Power opportunity start here for Plant and Wales. They trail by 141 to 149. Disregard what you see on the scoreboard, that unofficial score, and we will have a 2-minute jam with no time left on the period clock. And Carmelec comes out immediately, almost with about 3 seconds left, goes down in the corner. Plant finding some space, gets a run, but is stopped by Peace War. Darko at the top of the triangle as well. Carmelec can't find purchase, forced out of bounds, is going to have to recycle back here behind Macbeth. 1 minute and 30 seconds now left on the jam clock. Wales still down by 8.
So both walls just really going to town, bogging down his jammers. This is congealing. This is the dictionary definition of congealed blocking.
Dos Santos was trying to get some offense and Darko said no, thank you.
Charismatic recycling the jammer all the way to the back here. No packing signals. Oh, it's a power jam to Fuego Latino. Plant is going to the box. That is surely that for Wales.
Carmelec only with a couple of blockers to beat. They are maintaining their position. Under a minute to go in the jam. There's a possibility here that Wales could kill this penalty off or force a penalty of their own and give Plant another shot, but it'll be uphill going with 8 points still to get.
Less than a minute left in the game. Carmelec foot off track there, but steps off and behind the blocker. Plant standing in the box. They have 30 seconds with which to do something in this jam. They need to get out and get round twice in 30 seconds. Massive, huge ask for the Welsh jammer. But here they come.
High block called on Pip Gray. Only Dos Santos standing in the way of Carmelec, and that's lead jammer. And that's the game. Carmelec calls the jam, falls to her knees, and that's the game. Fuego Latino over Team Wales. 149-141. One of the most incredible games you will ever see in this sport.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's all I can say from that is wow. And, of course, this is Fuego's only second ever victory and first in a massively competitive game as well. So really big hats off to FUEGO Latino. What a game of roller derby.
I mean, they took just about everything they had to start their World Cup tenure with a victory. And during that ejection from Haas the Boss, those 2 costly jammer penalties in the second half, and outlasting Wales on a jammer penalty that could have turned the game upside down. But credit to Karma Electrac and the FUEGO Latino blockers for holding steady at the end of the game, where there was just everybody was gassed. There was absolutely nothing left, and Karma Electrac had just the spine to get out and around, take one step, and call the jam.
They've got nothing left. I've got no words. That was just incredible. I guess all we can say is, next up is Brazil against Vietnam. Top that.
Oh my gosh. So our halftime score was 71-60. Wales putting 81 points on the board in the second half to FUEGO Latino 78, but they could not quite find another 9 points to take this game. So 1 point in the books on the score sheet for FUEGO Latino, and do not ever take anything away from Team Wales. They absolutely fought tooth and nail to get back in this game. For Iron Lung, Liam needs him. I'm Jumping Spider. Liam, take us home. If you got the Welsh for it.
Blooming heck. Hwyl y fawr.
We'll see you soon.